Yo, what's going on, guys? Jay here. So, I've just gotten home. I've just had 4 fights, quick match in different weight classes, and we've won all 4 games. We didn't jump from lobby to lobby, we played whoever we got. And yeah, I've adopted a new playstyle, and it's just to kind of be slower, I suppose. Be more calculated, pay attention more to what the opponent's doing, and we played pretty well. Albeit the last fight rather, we took quite a fair bit damage, but I'll tell you why, and I noticed it during the game. And this is what you guys should do as well. You know, if you're playing and you're losing all the time, or there's always a skill issue, right? If you only play, because what I noticed with this game is if I take a break, right? If I take a break and I come back, say, like a day, well, 2, 3 days later, I almost need to relearn how to play, man. It's like I'm just not as good if I come back and go again. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's a hard game to continue to be good at, but especially how you need to be able to. You need to know how to counter most playstyles. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bit of a problem. Nice rock right there. Thought he'd maybe drop low, went high, didn't. But yeah, I mean, this is one of these games where you need to play consistently. Like, I find myself jumping on. So, the highest level we beat in this game, right, is level 40. And to be honest with you, in my opinion, absolutely annihilated him. But, GG's in respect to that guy. But, I mean, that guy's probably had, like, a week's break, you know? That was an unfortunate body kick we just went for. We went for an uppercut while we were rocked. Don't do that, man. I don't know why I did that. I always think I can get the uppercut off quick enough, but yeah, you just can't 99% of the time. So if you're rocked and they're going to your body, don't go for an uppercut. Just keep blocking. So, anyways, back to the point. The level 40 I beat, which I think is next game. He's probably had a break for a couple of days. And I find myself jumping on this game and getting like annihilated sometimes by, level 5, 6s. And if I get beat by somebody, I'm level 24, if I get beat by somebody that's level 15 or less, I feel shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, really? You don't have as much experience as me? How am I getting beat? But it's all about replayability. The more you play this game, that was a nice body rock. I'm surprised he'd done that, to be fair. He should have went head. That would have been the best option for him, to go for a head roundhouse. Look at his head health compared to ours. Like, he's absolutely done for. But yeah, I think the people that play the game consistently and often, all these really crazy YouTubers, Naz, Preoxys, Marshall Mind, WeeJaayyy, like all these crazy YouTubers play this a lot, man. Like, and no wonder they're so good and they keep their consistency up. A really underrated YouTuber is Cloud UFC. He is really good as well. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's like I get beat by level like 9s, and I'm just like, what the hell? Why am I even playing this game anymore? And then I've been practicing a specific play style over the past couple of days. I've played this a bit more, as you'll probably notice if you're watching this video. I play COD as well. I've made a few videos on that, but even COD, if I take a break, I've not played COD in 3 days now. I guarantee you, my aim is going to be so dog shit when I go back to play that I'm going to need a good few hours, if not a day, to actually regain my my aim at it. But yeah, I don't know. I just think nice rock from him. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that the skill gap in this game is so high, right? And the only way to increase your skill gap is to play often. It is rightly so in saying that if somebody's a lower level than you, because I always beat people that are higher level than me, but I always get beat by people that are higher levels than me as well. And it's normally what I use as an indication to whether I should win a match. But at the end of the day, specific playstyles can win you a game if it counters you. Now, only good UFC players doesn't let that happen. But if I come against I went for a duck there, I went too late, bit of a shame. Yeah, like there's specific playstyles that you need to just watch out for and get better against. But that's the first fight done. Let's move into the second. Alright, so we are into the second fight. Now this is the fight I'm talking about, right? So I go Stephen Thompson, he goes Rachmanov. We obviously spent the first part of the video talking about skill, that kind of stuff, but we're going to start talking about the fight now. Okay, so, touch gloves, and I love Stephen Thompson in this game. That was kind of silly. I went for a head duck. I kind of thought that's what he was going to go for, but he went for a front kick, and front kicks, if you duck into it, will land, so be careful of that. So straight away noticing, that he wants to go for these front kicks, and we are taking note of that, so we're being careful every time we go for a head kick duck. But I'm noticing straight away, like, for this guy's experience, he's throwing a lot, and I'm kind of like, right, okay. So, generally, if somebody's not very good or experienced, they'll not be able to, they won't block the body as much. Like, look at that. So he just, went for a jab, body uppercut, and he blocked the body uppercut. So, obviously, at this point, I'm now thinking, right, okay, so we're not always going to go to the body after our second hit. And that's what any good, UFC player would do, I suppose. But I'm kind of like, that was a nice... I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that taunt. And the second taunt I done is the taunt I was meant to go for. So yeah, we're kind of just thinking at this point straight away, right, well, what is even going on? I didn't mean to go for that either. When we're in quick match and I'm having fun, do you know what? Even when I'm not having fun, I don't tend to jump on people. I think it's... I very, very, very rarely jump on people. I don't think it's the way to go. It's if you're in ranked, I understand why people do it, but I'm kind of just like, what's the point? So after me slipping, I'm watching this back with you guys, right? And after me slipping and getting a hook rock to his front kick, he just front kicked 3 times in a row. We throw a front kick of ourselves, as soon as he misses his spinning head kick, and yeah, at this point we're kind of just thinking, well, the game's won anyways. I mean, we don't have to do too much. He's look at stamina compared to ours. Like, again, it shows. I think this guy lost his last fight. I think he lost his last fight. He's seen level 22 and thought, fuck it, let's just do it. I tried to go for a slip there, somehow landed. Sometimes get confused at stuff like that. But yeah, I think this guy lost his last fight. He went into this too aggressive, decided to throw some dodgy stuff. I really am focusing on this slower play style. You probably notice in my videos, right, I accidentally paused there while I was going for my combination. I got really angry there, because if he had thrown too much more, yeah, that would have cost me the fight. I accidentally pressing pause. But back to the point. So I think that this guy lost his last fight and kind of came into this too aggressively. You'll notice I don't throw too many leg kicks. In fact, no leg kicks at all. Now, again, depending on who you ask, they might disagree, but for me, you have 3 areas to go for. You have the head, you have the body, and you have the legs. Now, myself, the way that I like to fight in this game is I never... So I don't think there's any point in going for the head, body, and legs. What is the point? Because at the end of the day, if you're going for the head and body and decide to add the legs in too, you're not going to do anything to his legs It'll take you a lot of time to make them switch stance, and even once they've switched stance, I'm trying to go for the miss roundhouse into the heel spinning kick, but I think I've forgotten the buttons because it didn't work twice I tried it. But yeah, I think that, you know, going for the legs as well is kind of pointless because it takes a lot of time to get their leg health down and then they switch stance. Some people play worse at the other stance, so it's kind of like, well, is that worth it? You've just wasted all that time going for leg kicks when you could have been going to the body or the head. And I just don't like leg kicks because they don't do anything for me. The body's a good place to go for because what it can do, obviously, if you play this game, you know, but it can drain their stamina if you get body rocks. And I think for me, that's just a better way to go, is to, you know, go for body shots rather than to the leg. I would probably suggest if you're going to go for the legs, then don't go for the body. But I don't know, man. I just find going for the body so much better. It's more satisfying. Because the body is relatively easy to counter. If you can, like I'm doing with this guy, if you can get to the body, then, you know, he wasn't biting on my question mark kick fakes into the front kick. But yeah, I mean, if you can go to the body, it's so satisfying. And yeah, I don't know, I just don't like leg kicks because even if you get the leg so damaged that they have to switch stance, it takes something crazy like you know, when you've got the leg health to literally zero, it takes something like 10 like leg kicks to literally TKO them, and it's like, was that worth it? I don't think so. I really don't think so, but it is what it is, I suppose. Some people like leg kicks, and don't get me wrong, they work, right? I mean, there's plenty of games where I find myself with absolute no leg health, and I have to switch stance, and I'm kind of like, well, it is what it is. I'm not too bad in either stance, I just don't really like going southpaw, is my take on it. But anyway, guys, let's jump straight into the next game. Alright, so we are into the second against Fighter Ace, Sean Strickland, and I'm going Alex Pereira in the middleweight. So, by the way, I must ask, is anybody going to be watching the UFC this coming Saturday? I mean, the fights look absolutely insane, and I think it's definitely some fights that you don't want to miss. For me, right, I think the Leon Edwards v Colby Covington main event will be extremely good. Leon Edwards obviously wants to come back from the Usman fight and put a more dominant performance in. But at the same time, by the way, I might add just about this fight here, the lag is unbelievable. So I'm like battling that at the same time. So yeah, I think Colby Covington v Edwards is going to be an insane fight, and I do think Covington's probably going to win that fight. I think his ground game is what's going to be the decider. I mean, Usman v Edwards was a bit of a strange fight, but yeah, I don't think it's, if Covington plays the way that he normally does, like even against Masvidal, for instance, it's going to be a ridiculously good fight. The one I'm looking forward to the most, though, is Stephen Thompson vs Rakhmonov. Both insane fighters, right? Rakhmonov's a really good fighter, but I think for me, Stephen Thompson, obviously you guys know that he's my favourite fighter in this game. I just think that his fights are just so unbelievably fun to watch, and I think we can probably all agree that when he loses, we all lose. Like, he's so humble, and I don't know, just his fighting style is extremely exciting to watch. I love him, man. The only problem is, for obvious reasons, I live in the UK, I'm from Scotland. But I think, you know, to stay up. So I think the fights start at 11 PM for me. and don't finish till probably about 5 o'clock. I know the main events are starting to go at 6. That was an insane knockout there. We will quickly jump straight into the next one, and we will carry on that conversation. So, into the next fight. But yeah, as I was saying, I think the main events will finish at probably 6 a.m. UK time. I know they're meant to start at 3, but I always add on a couple of extra hours because, you know, you never know how long a fight's actually going to last. And Stephen Thompson v Rakhmonov, that is literally what is making me want to watch it. And yeah, there is a fair few good fights in there, but I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to stay up to watch it all. But some of the good fights that we will get to see on that day. So, Cody Garbrandt vs Brian Kelleher, I think that will be an insane fight. Both very good fighters. Josh Emmett v Bryce Mitchell, probably be quite a decent fight as well. And then we've got Tony Ferguson vs Paddy Pimblett. Now, Paddy Pimblett's last fight was quite controversial, and I seen a video of him recently coming out and basically saying, you know, hey, I understand why people thought that could have went either way, but on top of that, I'm also understanding of the fact that I was a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? He was over the top. He said there's no way he could have lost, you know, blah blah blah. But he's like appreciated that why people thought he did lose or could have lost. He said in particular, he said that he had taken a lot of hits during that fight. So somebody that's taken a lot of punches to the head could potentially say things that they don't really mean, right? So I appreciate it, but Tony Ferguson v Paddy Pimblett, that will also be a very good fight. Obviously Rakhmonov v Thompson, and then Edwards v Covington. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take it easy. I will see you next time.